You're watching the Prepared Mind Network, so get prepared for one hell of a show.
I talked to a student recently at one of our woke college campuses who said she's required in every class to introduce herself and to give her pronouns. Well, I'm Ted Cruz, and my pronoun is kiss my ass.
Welcome to the Prepared Mind channel. This is the college of thinking, I guess. I don't know. I actually consider what we do here more educational, a conveyance of information back and forth that is more useful, critical, and accurate than any fucked up college in this country. Folks, it is the Prepared Mind channel, and it is Wednesday, hump day. And we have, well, folks, the hump is huge. We're not just going to get over it. The hump doesn't end when Thursday comes. The war has begun. It is now in the streets. And I used Senator Cruz's introduction there because I felt it was important to talk about campuses. They are not just woke. They are housing. I wouldn't call it educating, but housing and encouraging terrorism. At UCLA, that's the University of California, Los Angeles, a girl there on campus was beaten to the ground, had to be sent to the hospital. Who beat her ass? Who knocked her to the ground? I'll pronounce this wrong, so fuck them. Keffiyeh wearing Palestinian terrorists beat this girl to the fucking ground. Yes, folks, the violence has started. The violence is real, and murders are coming. Just like BLM started off as a protest. How dare you kill a man who is a criminal, a felon, in the midst of committing another felony while on drugs. Another felony, and he dies. So yeah, because he's black, that just negates all the bullshit he's ever done wrong and was doing wrong, and then, well, it started as protest, and then it became BLM, burn, loot, murder. These fucking punk people on college campuses infuriate me because I've been watching here and there little snippets. They think they have a right to be there and do what they're doing. I'm going to ask you, do you understand that you have a right to defend yourself, that you have a duty to protect your family, and that your community is going to be overrun by these scum unless you do something about it? You have to do something about it, or it is going to get far, far worse. And it's got to get worse. It's got to get worse before it gets any better. I want to talk a little more about UCLA. And it's not just me. The Summer of Love 2.0 is a commonly used expression to describe what is happening right now. Overnight, there were massive riots. There were raging fights for hours at UCLA. And it was not the police, folks. They were absent, according to the news reports I read and obtained. It was protesters. No. They're not protesters. They are terrorists occupying colleges. It was terrorists versus Americans, counter-terrorists. And the police were nowhere to be seen. There it is, folks. Understand. It's time. It's go time. It's time for us citizens to step in and start knocking some heads around. We need to solve these problems because law enforcement is not going to do the job, just like they did not do the job in 2020. Now, before you take any action to protect yourself, your family, your community, your country, I recommend you call your local law enforcement when a riot breaks out and ask if they're going to take care of the problem. if they're going to be on the scene and arrest the fucking criminals, right? And if they say you're on your own, guess what that means? You are on your own. I'm not telling you to do anything violent or dangerous. I'm saying this needs to be stopped, and it needs to be stopped now. It truly does. I mean, get this bit of information. I don't think I'm being too radical. In fact, I don't think I'm being radical at all. Would you say that law enforcement arresting terrorists is radical? Would you say it's radical and extreme for police to take criminals off the street to stop them from, well, destroying public property, destroying private property, stop them from assaulting people, attempted murder? Is it wrong to stop them from stopping or keeping the public from being able to go into the public? Is it wrong to stop terrorists? No, it's not. I haven't found anyone who can argue, no, these terrorists have a right. They have a right to do this. No, they don't. No, they fucking don't. Understand, folks, they think they do. They think that because in their little pea brains that it's okay, that it's justified to do what they're doing. Well, the colleges are bending over just as quick and as fast as local police departments did when their Democrat mayors and governors said, we need you to take it in the ass from the BLM protesters. Now get this, Northwestern University, they have given in, they have caved because of the radical terrorists there. They're offering full scholarships to Palestinian terrorist students, and they're guaranteeing faculty jobs for Palestinian terrorists. Why? Why give it in to the terrorists? Why give in? And then further reward them for committing acts of terror. Folks, an act of terror is the threat or the use of violence. Threat of violence, use of violence to accomplish a political agenda. They start with protesting, mostly peaceful. Then they move to mild violence, aka riots, pushing people around, beating them. And then they will move to threats of murder and real murder. It is fucking coming. So a university gives right in. That's how terrorism operates, folks. They will never. You can give them full fucking scholarships. Let them run the university. Buy them homes, cars, pay them too much. It doesn't matter. You can never satisfy them. They're like fucking liberal Democrats. They will never stop making demands and asking for more. They're just like the LGB fruitcakes. Oh, we just want to be recognized and allowed to marry. Next thing you know, they're putting makeup on your kid at school and telling them to cut their dicks off. Yeah, folks, they did the same thing last time. The BLM people, they started small and then they accelerated. They accelerated their program. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, in the comments down below, tell me, hey, John, you're wrong, man. You're wrong. These are just a bunch of crazy kids who are hiding their faces and wearing terrorist garb and shouting terrorist slogans and doing terrorist actions, but they're just kids. Let them be kids. No, fuck that. They're not just kids. And I can't stand, and forgive me, but I can't fucking stand listening to little bitches, little females talk tough. I can't stand that anymore. I can stand these little needle dick, 90 pounds wet, skinny little communist fucks talking shit. I've had it with these fucking people. I'm not pushing violence. No. I'm saying I've had it, which means we need to take action. Lawful action. Lawful action. Don't ever forget that that's the action you will be taking in self-defense and defense of others and your country. It is coming. It's coming. Now, I mean, and it's not, look, Liberals are fucked in the head. I couldn't believe it. I've been looking at Twitter X lately, or X Twitter. At some point, I'll stop calling it Twitter. And a switch flipped at X. And they started sending into my feed a bunch of liberal shit. Like a picture of a sign that says, "We hate Trump." It's not really a meme. Or "I hate Trump." That's not a meme. That's just a fucking statement. They don't seem to understand what a meme is. But all of this left-wing shit. Trump is the worst president ever. Where's your fucking evidence? They don't cite anything. They just make fucking stupid statements. In any event, all this stuff is there. And I thought, well, is this what people are listening to and looking at? So I opened it up. And lo and behold, every comment, I'll say 99%, were responses that were patriotic and conservative. Someone is putting that shit out there and then pushing it to the front of the feed. We're at war with these people, folks. It's an information war. But up upon high, those in power are noticing what is going on. And that's good. That's good. Representative Virginia Fox, let them have it. Criticize the shit out of colleges who have allowed radicals to take over the campuses. And she had something to say, right? Let me give you the message. Quote, "We have a clear message for mealy-mouthed, spineless college leaders." I thought, okay, this Virginia Fox chick, Representative Virginia Fox, right? It's got something to say. She says, "Congress will not tolerate your dereliction of your duty to your Jewish students." Well, I got a little extra news for you, Virginia. It's not just the Jews. It's everybody. After they came for the Jews, they came for me. I am ready to fucking stand up to these little bastards now. But this is where they're at in the process. The attack on Jewish students, the attack on Israel, the attack on colleges, right, over this Palestinian crap. Do you think for a fucking second that terrorists, they're going to look around and go, "Hey, I don't see any more Jews. I guess I'll just be a good person now. I guess I'll go get a job and pay all kinds of fucking taxes now"? No, they're terrorists. Once they kill all the Jews, they'll look around and go, "Okay, we need some white women to rape, and we need some white men to kill, and where's some Christian churches to bomb?" That's what these fucking people think. So, Representative Fox continues, "American universities are officially put on notice that we have come to take our universities back." How? I understand the frustration and the outrage and wanting to do something. I think this is the first part of it, right? It's got to be more than strong statements. There needs to be a hand saying, "Go away," and if that hand isn't heeded, there needs to be a fist to punch them in their fucking noses. Now, she says college is not a park for play-acting juveniles or a battleground for radical activists. Radical activists is translated as terrorists. Back to her statements. "Everyone affiliated with these universities will receive a healthy dose of reality. Actions have consequences." And I also think inaction should have consequences for these college officials who aren't doing their fucking job, who are stopping discrimination, not promoting discrimination against white men, Asians, because they're good at math, right? Christians, Jews, whatever, whoever they want to pick on. It's time to fucking straighten them up. I say imprison these terrorists or deport their dumbasses. And look, I've talked to several people now. Apparently, on college campuses, to meet diversity, equity, and inclusion guidelines and goals, they have been putting foreign professors, foreign faculty. You can barely understand the fucking language they're speaking. Their English is so bad. How can you expect to learn anything? Oh, this is marvelous. We have a foreigner here teaching us stuff that's useful in America. No, you don't. What the fuck do they know? They're from another country. They know jack shit about American economics. They know jack shit about anything. I have no respect for these fucking people, folks. None at all. None at all. Right? At Columbia, understand, folks, I'm all over this shit. At Columbia, the wife of a terrorist, right? A terrorist's wife, that pretty much makes her a fucking terrorist. She had a picture taken, caught on camera at one of the terrorist protest sites on Columbia College, or Columbia University, rather, campus. What's the fucking difference? It's all the same, right? Now, is calling terrorists a terrorist, is that wrong? No, it's wrong to call them anything but a fucking terrorist, right? This wife, this terrorist wife, is on campus. What do you think she's doing? Selling Girl Scout cookies? She's there to promote terrorism, to push it, to push this idea of we're going to honor all the martyrs. Fuck you, jihadis. See, folks, it's coming to that. We've been talking about this a long time. We're in a partisan conflict. Partisan violence is coming. Like the Nazis of the 1920s and 30s, like the socialists, the communists of 1920s and 30s, they are there to set the youth, the dumbass youth, on everyone else. Like the Hitler youth, the Bolshevik revolutionaries of Russia. They're violent young idiots who have been brainwashed into believing a radical, unrealistic perspective. And they believe it. That's their cult. That's their faith. It's the cult of death. You and I have a cult of civility and respecting others and life. So that's how they've gotten this fucking far. Guess what? I'm done with it. I do not respect them or their so-called religions, whether it's Islam or environmentalism or communism. Communism is a religion. It is a religion because it has a moral belief system and it claims for itself godhood. Are you going to continue to let these people gnaw away at your brain with their slimy little fangs, trying to pull apart your thinking system? Oh, you have to be tolerant. You out of your fucking mind? Tolerant? Would you be tolerant of a coyote gnawing on your Achilles heel? Would you be tolerant of parasites chewing through your skin? Would you be tolerant of someone who with a scalpel wanting to cut your face off because they want to wear it like a fucking hat? I know that's pretty extreme, huh? Oh, like they're not out there. No, okay, maybe they won't cut your face off and wear it like a fucking hat, but pick me out a terrorist, and I bet they'll cut your fucking head off, stick it on a pole, and run through neighborhoods telling white people, you better obey or I'm going to do this to you next. This is coming, folks. This is upon us. This is here now. When the spouses of terrorists are engaging with other young wannabe terrorists, they're grooming them to commit acts of violence and murder. Grooming them. Grooming them. Now, this was interesting. This story popped up today. Native Americans, they're not falling for this shit. Native Americans at UCLA, they confronted a bunch of Hamas terrorists. They confronted a mob of Palestinian terrorists. And this is what they said, quote, Hamas and supporters are not welcome on native land. Now, of course, UCLA is not native land, but the Native Americans decided to come out in force, folks, and confront these sacks of shit. And then, over their speaker system, they blasted the Pledge of Allegiance. I thought that was fantastic. I'm glad that Native Americans told these Palestinian terrorists they are not welcome on tribal land. But they did say, folks, the Native Americans said Jews are welcome on tribal land. And I'll tell you what, natives know what intolerance creates. Natives understand when someone says they're going to fucking kill you, they mean it. They mean it. They mean it. These people are promising death to everybody. Everybody. So not only do we have Native Americans standing up, we have Virginia Fox, a congressional representative. We also have a fraternity, a story about fraternity, frat boys at UNC, folks, University of North Carolina, UNC, a fraternity rescued, right? Saved, salvaged, picked up an American flag and took it from a pro-Hamas terrorist mob. And then these frat boys started singing the national anthem. So we got Native Americans reciting the Pledge of Allegiance over the din, the noise, all the fucking, God, they're just assholes in their chants. So I'm glad someone's fighting back, folks. The fight, it's going to be on the street now. Biden's terrorist groups, folks, his version of the brown shirts or the Bolsheviks, they're Muslim students. They're wannabe Muslim students. It's going to be between them and Americans. This is the partisan war, folks. This is the partisan conflict I've been talking about. It's not going to be the government versus the government. It's not going to be a civil war to start between governing factions trying to take control of the government, though we may have that as well after the election. We are going to start, you and I, on the streets with partisan versus terrorism. Partisanism versus terrorism. And where are the police? Where are the police? Are they going to come in? Are they going to join? Or are they going to sit back? Are they going to sit back and let their asses get kicked? Nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble. Okay, well, let's keep going. I mean, I've got time. I hope you got your questions down below. I hope you do. I hope you got some thoughts. And the topics that you want to talk about in the second half of the hour, they don't have to be what I've talked about. They can be completely different topics that matter to you, because this show will be watched by thousands of people. Thank you, Mr. Uman. Thousands of people. Now, I've talked about a congressional representative saying, that's it, enough of this shit. We're going to hold you accountable. Talking to college bureaucrats, because that's what they are. They're fucking bureaucrats. We talked about a fraternity, a bunch of frat boys. Talked about Native Americans saying no more of this shit. Brought that up in this episode alone. Well, in New York City, folks, I wonder if police have learned their fucking lessons yet. It is not the people who are the problem. It is the criminals. It's not the people who are a problem. It's the terrorists. It's not the people, the patriots, the taxpayers that they're a problem. It is the scumbags out there. If you want to be a cop, go kick some ass on criminals. Leave good people alone. So I think the NYPD is learning their fucking lesson, because a bunch of NYPD officers, they confiscated, they trashed a fucking Palestinian banner, and they raised the American flag. They busted, they arrested, they cleared the fucking area of terrorist Hamas supporters at the City College in New York City. And nationally, folks, I think police need to conscript patriots and vets to assist them. We would be more than willing and more than helpful against these crowds of fuckheads. I would love to wade into a group of these little numbskulls and drag them out by their fucking hair to the paddy wagon. I am not bound by the same rules that cops are. Neither are you. If they want to swing and hit and fight and bite and kick, then I can do what I consider to be necessary to stop them from destroying our country, destroying our country, destroying our country. That's what they're doing. Police, So now we have, let's see, natives, frat boys, politicians, police. There was the son of an American pastor, and I believe this was at UCLA as well, trying to keep these Palestinian terrorist fucks from breaking into college buildings, destroying them, shattering glass, breaking them. And it's fucking amazing, folks. They are like an animal that shits in its own bed and shits in its own food dish because it doesn't know any better, because that's all it knows how to do is shit on everything. What am I talking about? All of these dumbass Palestinians. The colleges where they're living at are their fucking homes. So what do? They break into the buildings in their own school and destroy them in an effort to make everyone love them. Give me a fucking break. Destroy your school. Ruin graduation. Great. Colleges are a waste of fucking money and time anyways, as described here and other places ad nauseum. Have you noticed that there's no trade schools that are destroying themselves and burning themselves? No. Those kids are there to learn and go to work. If you had someone with a foreign accent show up at your business wearing a fucking keffiyeh on their head and carrying a fucking Palestinian banner, and they walk in and they snidely, shittily go, "I'd like an application for a job." Oh, okay. Well, you know what kind of job are you interested in there, a whippersnapper? I'm going to be the CEO. Oh, really? Great. Be sure and put that on your application, that that's the job you want. And you're qualified, right? Oh, yeah. I went to school for 7 years and got a bachelor's degree. I know everything there is to know about business. Oh, really? That's great. Yeah. We'll give you a call. There's the door. Go ahead and help yourself out. No fucking way should anyone be hiring these people, because they're foreigners, because they're unqualified, because they can't fucking speak English, because they don't know jack shit about nothing. Yet they're going to make demands. Oh, well, I'm being treated prejudicially. No one will hire me. Yeah, because you're a fucking terrorist. A terrorist. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. Now, I'm gonna close this out. This is actually from Name Redacted, and Uman forwarded it to me. And so I'm gonna hit this. I never read it, didn't read it. What is the information? Oh shit. It's a video. I can't watch a video and talk to you guys about it. Anyways, hopefully Name Redacted brings the subject matter up during the inner circle. The inner circle. And I want to thank Darcy T for sending me a list from various countries since 2012 to our university systems. And she asked the question, folks, they're foreign people, foreign corporations, foreign organizations, NGOs, non-governmental organizations. She says, is it any wonder why we have such a mess on the campuses? I've got to answer the question. No, it's no wonder. And yes, they are that fucking bad. Okay, I will end on this instead. Folks, I spent this entire monologue so far discussing Palestinian terrorists trying to start war in our country against the people, commencing at the college level, demanding that we accept their bullshit and allow them to continue to be a bunch of anti-Semite, murderous little fucks. But in all truth, we've got a possible bigger problem. The chief of NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which is many European nations, England and the United States of America, as well as Canada, the NATO chief, he's actually made the public statement that Ukraine is going to become a member of NATO. Oh, really? I didn't know any part of Ukraine was touching the Atlantic. Well, it's not. It's not. To be a member state of NATO, there are some requirements, and Ukraine does not meet them, folks. And Ukraine is the most corrupt country on the planet. You think China's bad? Look at NATO. You think Iraq is bad? I'm sorry, look at Ukraine. You think Russia is supposed to be bad? Ukraine smokes them. Not on the battlefield, folks, in the area of corruption. Ukraine is even more corrupt than Washington, D.C., if you can fucking believe that. Folks, and if now they're flying, this is called a test balloon. They want to see what Russia's reaction is. They want to see what the people's reaction is. Mine is, you know what? Fuck Ukraine. Not another penny. I'm so sick of these people. Ukraine is a shithole, and we're sending that shithole, folks. Now, Russia, upon hearing this, will make their position crystal clear. Statements will come from Russia. Statements will be made. Russian nukes will be moved closer to Ukraine, closer to Poland, closer to Germany, and elsewhere to make the point. You want to put a NATO base in the most corrupt, shit-stained country on the planet that has Nazis in their military who openly wear Nazi regalia, symbols, etc.? Russia will make the point, folks. And if they feel like they are in imminent danger, they will respond. And someone's going to get lit up, and something's going to get really fucking hot. Thanks, Obama. Thanks, Biden. And thanks to you, Klaus, and the World Economic Forum. You all can go fuck yourselves. Now, it has hit the fan. It's time for the inner circle. And we're back. Woo! Yeah, NATO, World War III, nuclear weapons makes dealing with terrorists in the homeland sound like a fucking picnic. I'm sure they will light up a European country before they light us up. I'm sure they will light up Washington, D.C. and the Pentagon with a nuke before any of us elsewhere need to worry about a thing. All right, Mr. Uman, I know we've got some questions. I'm sure you, sir, have also been woken up a little bit. And here we have James Nicholson. He says, good evening, John. If someone was to call the police in regards to people being a loose reference to criminal scumbags, to people rioting, be sure to mention that you are in fear for your life and family. That is excellent, excellent advice. If you speak to law enforcement, tell them that you are having your life threatened. You fear for your life. Now, that doesn't mean you need to act and sound like you're fearful. They are just words to use. And it is to advise the police that the situation is dire and may require deadly force. That's right. It's this is something that was taught and has been taught in states and areas where they are less inclined to give you a concealed weapons permit. What they've said is that in California, and again, yes, I'm from California, and I had a concealed weapons permit, no problem at all, John. But it was, if you fear death or great bodily harm for yourself or others, you can use deadly force. Now, if someone is standing there threatening to kill you, are you required to run? Are you required to turn tail? Or can you stand your ground? Try and understand the rules you have in your state, in your area. Talk to law enforcement. If you live in a town with a university where you think this could become a problem, I used to go to the police station and the sheriff's office all the time and ask them questions. Walk in and say, am I required to retreat if someone threatens me? And if someone threatens me and I'm surrounded and I cannot retreat, right? What do I do then? And ask them. They'll probably say something smart like, well, you're fucked. At least the cops used to tell me jokes like that, you know. Well, yeah, you're fucked, John. You know, well, no. So, yeah, if you fear for your life, if you fear great bodily injury or death, so you don't even have to fear that you're going to die, just that you're going to be maimed, beat up. You see, what happens is, say I were to be hit in the jaw, right in the spot that knocks you to the ground, makes you black out for a few seconds. If you get hit there, how do you know they're going to stop? I have watched video after video after video lately. I've watched these fucking scumbags from ghettos kicking people in the face, kicking people in the head, the neck, not to mention all the brutal blows to the chest, the back, etc. And then also jumping in the air and stomping people in the fucking skull, as well as having their skulls bashed into concrete. So the moment you feel like you are going to be beat up, understand that that is going to likely include great bodily harm and injury, if not death. If not death. So it is at that time. It is at that time that you have a right to defend yourself and use deadly force. I tell you what, if I ran into 1, 2, 10, 20 of these piece of shit terrorists, I would, even with one of them, fear great bodily harm and injury or death. What if it pulls a knife? What if it pulls a bat? What if it pulls out a gun? I'm very fearful that it will do that. Does that mean I see someone I think is a terrorist and that means I have the right to shoot them? No. No, there's a little bit of thinking that goes into this. But understand, if you feel like you need to call the police or shout for help, that means you're in fucking trouble. Okay, you're in trouble. If you feel like you need to shout for help or run, you're now in trouble. And it may be too late for you. Always have your everyday carry, a gun with you. We do. Anyways, James, great topic. Great topic. Thank you for bringing it up. If you talk to the police, let them know you fear for yourself and for the lives and safety of others. Great advice. Have it in your head what it is you need to say before you start talking to the police. Say, are you guys going to get here and solve this problem? Because I fear for my life and the lives of those other people around me, my family, friends, etc. All right, Mr. Uman, what do you have to say? What do we got out there? And it is Uman. And he says, Harvey Weinstein will get a new trial in New York after his rape conviction was vacated, overturned. Justice strikes again. I did not catch this today. Harvey Weinstein, a very special Hollywood producer. Watch a movie from the 90s. There's a good chance you'll see Harvey Weinstein's name in the credits at the beginning. Watch a movie from 20 years ago. Harvey Weinstein, his brother even. Yeah, he was there's a mountain of evidence and people willing to testify against him for coerced sex, aka rape. And they were like, yeah, we're going to throw it out. Well, I guess they figured a few years in jail, everyone would forget who this guy is, right? Nope. Anyways, it sounds like he's going to get tried again. It's incredible, folks. If I were to drive over a line in the highway with my conveyance, I'm sure they would want to arrest me and lock me up forever. This fucking guy. What a sleaze. But, that's the political left. That's entertainment. That's Hollywood. That's mainstream media. That's Democrats. There's lots of pictures, folks, of Harvey Weinstein hugging Hillary Clinton, other political figures, as well as celebrities everywhere. And while he was in such fame and fortune, he was also screwing people over. What a dumbass. Why didn't he just fucking pay for a hooker? You got money, Harvey. If you can produce a movie in Hollywood, you can pay for a hooker. What a disgusting fucking sack of shit. Name Redacted says, while not defending him, I fail to understand how he is successfully prosecuted for women willfully trading pussy for work in his movies. Well, Name Redacted, it's my understanding that not all women willingly did that he forced himself on women as well. And that is rape. Now, let's take a look at what it is they're claiming. A lot of other people, well, they were forced to because they wanted a role in a movie. That used to be called the casting couch. If you want a role in the movie, you've got to have sex or perform oral sex on whoever it is that's doing the hiring. It's a disgusting, filthy practice. I get it. I understand it. And how many women were willing to do that? I believe, if I recall correctly, allegedly, in the original Batman with Michael Keaton that was directed by that weird fucking guy who did Beetlejuice. The leading actress had sex with somebody in order to get the role. Anyways, it's you know, it's part of human nature on the one hand, and then it's really a disgusting, filthy thing on the other. There's just a line there. And in my opinion, Harvey Weinstein crossed it. If I were on the jury, I would have probably different information than I do now. I don't have much information. It's hard to be sympathetic when looking at someone like Harvey and then hearing the testimony of people who said he forced themselves on him. We'll find out, right? We'll find out. I mean, the justice system is a big pile of shit. For example, they have Ghislaine Maxwell, who for some reason was absolutely enamored with, in love with, participating with Jeffrey Epstein in God knows what vile, filthy actions they did. And the government has the book, the black book, the customer list of people who went to and participated in whatever depraved activities they did down in Little St. James Island after getting there and landing, at the Lolita Express. The government won't release the names. I don't think they're prosecuting the hundreds, if not thousands, of people in that book. Justice system? Hardly. It's just good to see someone high profile like Harvey Weinstein have his laundry aired publicly so the world can see what a bunch of sick fucks Hollywood is full of. Thank you, Name Redacted. Mr. Uman, shall we continue? What do you guys want to talk about? What's on your mind? And it is Badass Diving Frog. And he says, John, do you think the left will pull a major event, aka false flag or black swan, if you will? Will the left pull a major event to keep the dictator-in-chief in office at election time like a major escalation in war? I believe that there will be one or more major false flags that occur. They may or may not look legitimate to us. They will definitely look and feel and have the effect of legitimate problems in the world with the average American because they're not aware of all the shenanigans. They're not suspicious of the motives and the SOP of the government. That's standard operating procedures. But yeah, I really believe there are going to be major events, including a major escalation in war that may even have nuclear missiles brought into it and the threat of nuclear weapon exchange. Yes, definitely. I really believe we're going to have terror attacks in America. One of the prime sources will be or extend from these college campus, shall we say, these college campus terrors. Now, all of these people from the Middle East, from Africa, from Central and South America, they're also from China and elsewhere around the world, folks. But if they see their brethren and their sisters, their Islam jihadi sisters and brothers on college campuses, why wouldn't they wrap a scarf around their fucking head and go, no, 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 aloha snack bar, and go join the protests on college? And if they're not being arrested and they're being allowed to commit acts of terror and fuck things up, which one of these pieces of shit from another country wouldn't love that? They want to make our colleges look like Gaza. They want to make our cities look like Lebanon, bombed out hellholes. That's what they want. That's what they want for us. You talk about major events. Today, an active shooter was outside a Wisconsin middle school. The bad guy was neutralized. That's the word the police used. Neutralized. Does that mean they ventilated the fuck out of him with lead projectiles? Well, apparently this shooter was sent to hell by someone. But what I want to know, was the threat, this active shooter, another tranny, or was it a Palestinian terrorist from a fine college or from another country? A lot of people are starting to say, these are people who comment in social media, in online media sources, and they're saying the violence has been activated. The terrorists are being activated, and they're being encouraged to commit acts of violence. Are these terrorists from other countries going to attack children in schools? Are they going to start attacking shopping centers, grocery stores, places where people congregate? Are they going to escalate things here domestically while they escalate things internationally? I guess we're going to find out, folks. I guess. I want to say, hey, do a shout out to Sergeant Major Mike. Good day to you. Okay, Mr. Uman, who is next? And Semper Fi, Mike. We got Mikey G. Says, John, did you forget it's Mayday? Commie Day, comrade. We have 4th of July in America, telling big government to go fuck yourselves. In the world of communism, May 1st is their July 4th, their big celebration of revolution for big government, where they say, we want government to suck up to, and we want government to murder us because we love government. Yeah, it's Mayday. May 1st, folks. Mayday, Mayday. It is May 1st. I couldn't give a fuck. Fuck you, communists. You can suck it. Okay, let's continue if we shall. Name redacted says, on another note, I predict that that would be Vladimir Putin. I predict that Putin is going to slow walk through the election season, hoping for peace through Big Orange. That would be Trump. But when he don't get it, it's broken arrow time. There's a lot of forks in the road, folks. And there's a lot of people who don't give a lot of fucks or forks. Between now and the election is campaign season. It's not, it's campaign season. There's campaigning. Summers get hot. The hatred of Trump is incredible to me. I tried reading some opinions from Democrats. One, they make no sense. They have no facts to cite. They can't really justify. They just are full of hatred. And it's actually sickening. Now, if I tell you Biden can fuck off, well, I can give you a good reason. He sent another, $60 billion to Ukraine. And they're promising $1 trillion over 10 years. That's a good reason to say, you know what, Joe, fuck you. That's just one of the things he's done. Abandoning our military, our American citizens, abandoning our equipment. $85 billion in equipment in Afghanistan. I can give you a reason why I can't stand that fucking geriatric sack of shit. Unlike Democrats who can't. They just hate. So between now and then, now an election time name redacted, we've got forks in the road. You know, is Biden going to make it to the election? Or will he have an accident? Will he withdraw? Will he be hospitalized? Will he die? Will he be assassinated? Will he be replaced within the Democrat scumbag, treasonous terrorist fucking party? Or, right, will Trump be assassinated? Will Trump be arrested and thrown in jail like a January 6th prisoner, never to see the light of day again, or feel sunshine on his face because Democrats are murderous, treasonous sacks of shit. And anyone who votes for them, anyone who votes Democrat is a murderous, treasonous sack of shit for voting that in. I'm not going to be gentle the way I think the colonists were gentle to Tories in the Revolution. And just go, oh, well, you know, you're allowed to have your political opinion. No, you support evil, you're an evil fuck. I'll be coming for you. I'll be delivering you chocolates on Valentine's Day. I'll be delivering you candy canes for Christmas. And there's a lot of other Americans that feel the same way. And let me give you the evidence that I'm not talking out my ass and putting words in people's mouth and belief systems. A very fucking popular bumper sticker, or just painted across an entire back of a car, back windshield, or tailgate of a truck. It says, fuck you, Joe Biden, and fuck you for voting for him. People are realizing it's Democrats in their neighborhood, in their street, in their town, that are causing the problems we have by voting for these fucking people, who they then put in office, who are destroying this country. And then they're fucking happy about it. Yay, everything's destroyed. I love being a Democrat. They're all doing it to us, folks. It's not just Biden. It's not just Obama. It's not just Hillary. It's every single stinking Democrat and rhino Republican. And I haven't even got to the end of your fucking question, have I? Is Putin going to slow walk through election season, hoping for peace through Big Orange? You know, Trump could be killed, arrested. Trump may not win the election. I actually read, and I've been saying 91 million people voted for Biden. I apologize profusely. I take back every time I ever said that. I saw the number, 81 million. Somehow I got 91 in my head. Anyways, you know, when I'm wrong, I'll admit it. Now here, Big Orange could lose. Big Orange could lose. Well, there'll definitely be cheating. The dead are going to come out in record numbers and vote. People's animals, foreigners. There will be places again that will have more votes counted than there are people even living in the district, much less registered to vote. It happened last time. I expect it to last again. In fact, in Michigan, the Congress there, the state Congress, I mean, they are legislating fraud. Get this. A Michigan senator made a video warning that the Democratic senators have a bill that they passed that won't allow a recount and will bar or stop, prohibit investigations into election fraud. Expect an explosion of election fraud then, folks. But legislating election fraud, that's not a law. By saying, okay, go ahead and commit fraud, we're going to stop you from recounting and from investigating. That's treason. stopping legitimate government election functions by trying to use legislation. It's unconstitutional. But if it passes and they use it, war is going to follow. Every one of these Democrats, folks, see, this is not the federal government. This is Michigan. Everywhere Democrats are, these are the things they're doing. And rhino Republicans. Don't forget the rhinos. I don't want anyone to think that I've forgotten those poor little rhinos. They're all fucking scum. Scum. Your neighbor that has a Biden sign in his yard would fucking kill you if he had a chance. He'll rape your kids if they get a chance. That's the type of people they are. I don't have to exaggerate. These are the type of people they are. They hate Trump, and if they could get away with killing you for supporting Trump, they would. That's when I go, what, you hate Trump? You want to kill Trump? Well, good, count me with him. Come and try and kill me, you fucks. There's going to be a lot of people that take that. Look, I love Trump. I don't suck up to Trump. I don't kiss his ass. I don't think he's the greatest thing since sliced fucking bread and nonstick bubble gum and the Dyson vacuum. I don't think he's that great. But at least he's a fucking American. And if they want to kill him just for saying America should be free, well, they're going to have to go through me and probably a shit pile of you as well. And I don't think they're going to go and just cut through us like hot knife through butter. I think it'll be quite the opposite. Fuck them. Now, back to Putin. Putin is smart. Putin is probably smarter than any other politician in America because politicians are fucking idiots. And all they do is what their lawyers tell them to do anyways, to enrich themselves and destroy this country. They're not very fucking smart politicians, no. But Putin is pretty damn smart. So I imagine he is going to take his time and thoughtfully process everything that's happening so that they can benefit the most from it. Thank you, name redacted. Okay, I've got this. In broad daylight at a public park where people are walking around, enjoying sunshine, playing in the grass, a couple, a man and a woman, have allegedly performed a sexual act under a blanket. And some people kind of filmed this thing where these two adults were getting a little frisky under a blanket at a park. And the public is outraged because children were at the park. The public is outraged. How is this worse than drag queens exposing themselves to children and drag queens asking kids to touch them and exposing their genitals and their fake breasts to children? How is two adults under a blanket in a park, probably scrogging, how is that worse than what Democrats do to children in schools? Saying you should dress up like drag queens and entertain us because we're teachers. And here, by the way, here's some homosexual anal sex coloring books for you to go and learn how to give a BJ to another guy. Right? How is that worse? Well, I'll tell you what, it's probably because it was a man and a woman and not a trans person or a homosexual. Right? I'm sure if it was two homosexuals committing butt piracy in the middle of the park, everyone would be like, whistling past the fucking graveyard, not paying any attention. You know, I didn't see two freaking frackets. Right? Nope. Now, if I saw this, I would probably be rather disgusted. You know, like I can tell that they're doing something nasty under that blanket. Why, you know, get a fucking hotel room, go back to your house, or go deeper in the bushes or something. You know, but compared to what Democrats are doing to this country, just think about it. I would, you know, if they quit fucking taxing me and you and all of us quit screwing us, I wouldn't give a shit who is screwing under a blanket in a park. Give us our fucking money back. If the government got their hands out of our fucking pants, stealing our money, regulating us, screwing us over, I wouldn't care what people do in the fucking park. I'm supposed to care about that. I'm supposed to care about, a church. They're praying outside of an abortion clinic. That is awful. Right? Everything is pushed to a bizarre extreme. And it's at times like this that I think the country, the world is showing us what grave, grave peril we're all in, individually and nationally. I sure hope you are prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. I hope you've got your plan together and you're ready for it. If you will, I would like you to go to thepreparedmind.club, CLUB. At the top, there's a premium page, right? And that's where you sign up for $2 a month to support this channel and what we do, which is to wake people up, tell them to get prepared, let them know what's going on, and ask them to think for themselves. You think everything's fine? Great. Hasta la vista. See you later. You think there's a problem in America? Get prepared and tell others to do the same. Folks, chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Godspeed. Semper Fi means always faithful. Always faithful.